Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Courtney. Today I have got two Easter garlands for you. The first one is one that I made with some things from Dollar Tree, some things I already had, and the second one is made up of things all purchased from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take you through both of those garlands. Also wanted to share that if you said yes, you did want to see me do a video of my Easter tray, decorating it, time lapse, yeah, I completely forgot to film it. My tray is decorated and I just forgot. So for those of you who did want some information about that, I will include a clip in just a second of my tray and kind of talk you through some tips and tricks for decorating trays. So if you do not want to watch that, here is your timestamp to get straight to the tutorial. For the rest of you, I'll share these tips with you. And then at the end, I do have some DIY shout outs. And in my next video, people were asking, they wanted to see my farm table back here decorated for Easter. So I will show you that because actually I'm still decorating it. So let me finish that and then I'll show it to you. All right, guys, let's get into... All right, so here is my 3-tier tray. I do apologize that I didn't get this filmed like I had suggested I would. A while back, I did do a how I style my 3-tier tray, but let me just talk you through it. Basically, I try to have 2 to 3 different types of greenery. So for this one, I've got this plant here, and then I've got little boxwood balls. So those are the 2 different greeneries. And then I always try to have a floral element. These came from Dollar Tree. And then I try to mix different types of materials. So I'll have ceramic, like these little lantern things, wood, metal, clay. I do try to make sure to have a variety of that. So this little bunny right here looks like a little chocolate bunny. I got that from Hobby Lobby. You guys saw me at DIY. I've also got a fabric element here. Wooden sign that came from Kirkland's, of course, Dollar Tree. These were from Target. Hobby Lobby, it's a little metal container. Hobby Lobby, Kirkland's. And then this was from Kirkland's a long time ago. And my 3-tier tray, which I do get asked about, also from Hobby Lobby. And so there you go. That's kind of how I do it. I usually try to have my focal point in the middle. So that's why my sign is big and right there in the center. And that's kind of it. And then I usually always have something sitting next to it. And this is just a little box I got from Target. And then these carrots were Target last year as well. And there you go, guys. That is my Easter tray. Quick little synopsis. I don't know if I still have that video up, to be honest, my 3-tier tray video. But if I do, I did it a while ago. You can go and I kind of go into way more detail about styling a tray. So I don't remember. I may have taken it down. But there you go. That is my Easter tray. I will try really hard to remember to film when I switch it to summer so you guys can kind of see how I place and do things because some of y'all were asking about that. So there you go, guys. All right, let's get into the tutorial. All right, first things first, I'm going to turn on a movie. Someone did ask me what movie I was watching last time in my DIY, and it was Big Business. If you've never seen it, it's an oldie, but it's so good. Today, I am watching The Meg. I have not seen it. I know it's one of those hokey movies, but my daughter and I love to watch the hokey shark terror movies, so that's what I'm watching while I make this project. Okay, so for this garland, I knew I wanted to use some sort of carrot. Now, I got these last year from the Target Dollar Spot, but if you are able to get these, you can use these from Dollar Tree. And then I got this bunny banner last year. It's out of cardstock from Target again, but I haven't really done much with it. So this is what I'm going to be using to attach my felt to, but you could very easily print out a template from Pinterest onto cardstock and basically have the same thing that I have here. So I'm going to be using 4 of these little bunny cutouts and some gray felt for my bunnies. So the first step is to attach your felt to your bunny templates, and I'm simply just going to take some Aleene's tacky glue and get it on the bunny and then spread it around with my finger so it's nice and smooth. Again, I'm not using glue gun or glue sticks for this just because I want to make sure the felt is very smooth against the cardstock. And once I've spread it around my finger, I don't mind getting messy here. So you could use a paintbrush if you don't like doing this. I'm just going to flip it over, attach it to the felt, and then I'm just going to let it dry dry, and then I'll just trim around the bunny. I just didn't feel like tracing the template onto the felt, then cutting out the felt, and then attaching it. I just felt like this was an easier way to do it, so that's what I'm gonna do right now for all 4 bunnies. All right, so once all the bunnies are attached to the felt, I am gonna go ahead and trim around them before they dry, and I'll tell you why in just a second. And then I'm just gonna trim them with these small Fiskars scissors that I got from Hobby Lobby. If you work with felt and fabric a lot, I think having an arsenal of really sharp small scissors is really a crucial thing. I just really like these. They have so much control. So like I said, I'll trim around all 4 bunnies and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, and this is why you want to go ahead and trim before the bunnies are completely dry. So when you work with Aleene's tacky glue, especially on any type of paper product, it will typically kind of make the paper soft a little bit and possibly kind of curl. So to prevent my bunnies from having a curl to them, which you don't want on a garland, now that they're cut out, I'm gonna put 2 heavy items on top. And then that way, while they finish completely drying, they will dry nice and flat. So just remember, Aleene's glue will make your paper curl a little bit, no matter how thick it is. So you want to go ahead and flatten it out while it dries completely. Now that my bunnies are dry, I decided I did not want them just to have a flat felt look. So I'm simply just taking a lint roller and rolling it across the bunnies to kind of give them a little bit of a fuzzy look. You can rub it as much or as little as you want. I didn't want them to be super fuzzy, but I just knew I didn't want the flat felt look. So that's what I'm gonna do, is go across each bunny with my lint roller. And you can pick those up from Dollar Tree in case you didn't know. So it's a very quick little thing to do to just kind of enhance the bunnies. So I have 2 different styles of bunny. So for this one, I decided I was gonna put a little fluffy tail, which is just stuffing from an old pillow. And then I was gonna tie a little twine bow, and then I do end up adding a little bit of floral to this one as well, so that it will coordinate with my other bunny. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these down with my glue gun, and then I'll work on the next bunny. So I changed my mind. I ended up doing the bow on this bunny like I planned, but then I put the fluffy tails on this other one, but I decided I am gonna go in and kind of trim it a little bit more so that his head is a little more defined, and then I'll just keep trucking along. So I'm finishing up these bunnies. I'm using these purple flowers that I got from Dollar Tree, and I put a little bit here on the bow, and then I'm just doing kind of like a little neck lay or little neck reef, I don't know what you want to call it, and just kind of cutting off the buds here and just gluing them down with hot glue. And then once this is all finished, I'll be ready to start building my garland. Okay, so I'm using raffia for my garland because I knew I didn't want twine or nautical rope. So you're going to start by taking 3 pieces of raffia, pull the ends together to where they're all the same, and basically just tie a knot so that you have kind of a starting point. And then once you've done that, you're going to just tape that down and start braiding them. When you get to the end of these strands, simply take 3 more pieces of raffia and tie them to each of these to make it longer, and then again, braid it down. You're just gonna keep doing this until you've done it 3 times. So you wanna use 3 total pieces of raffia as your length. I really hope this makes sense. If not, just ask me down below and I'll try to re-explain it. But I will tell you this, I did at first have it all tied together and had super long strands of raffia, and it made braiding it impossible. So I went back and fixed it, and it was much easier to do it this way. Once the raffia is all braided, I'm simply just gonna lay it on the floor so that I can start kind of planning out where my pieces are gonna go on this string of raffia. All right, and here's the pattern I decided on. I did feel like it needed something besides the carrots and bunnies, so I just very quickly made some raffia tassels to add to my garland. Anytime I'm working with a garland, I always find the middle of it, and that is where I start. So I did attach this tassel to it. I'll show you how I got it attached in a minute, but this is the midpoint of my garland, and then all I'm gonna do is simply attach all of my elements using hot glue and just spacing them out how I want them spaced. All right, now a tip here. When you are working with bigger items like this bunny, you do not want to glue the item to the middle of the twine. You want to glue, like I showed here, as close to the top of the item as you can, because if you glue it to the middle, what happens is those pieces will kind of fall forward. I know some of you guys said y'all were having that issue, so placement of where you glue these on really does matter. So like I said, bigger items glue closer to the top of the item. Let me quickly show you how I tied these tassels on. So you're gonna just take a piece of raffia, make a loop like this, and pull it through. Then you're gonna feed these little tails through the top of the tassel. And then once you've kind of fed them through there, you'll just tie a knot. And then I'm gonna kind of wrap around the extra raffia around the knot, kind of getting it cinched up close. And then once that's done, you'll pull it to the back and then simply just tie in the leftover tails to the back of the raffia tassel. And here it is. I have it hanging on my mantle, and all I did with the extra raffia is I kind of just knotted it around. Oop, there's a glue string I need to pull off. I just kind of knotted it around there like that, and then I just have it hanging with some 3M hooks, and there we go. That is the finished product. And yeah, I really like how it turned out. So now let's move in to this easy $5 DIY Dollar Tree Easter garland. Okay, so to start with this garland, oh yeah, the movie In Case You Care is Ferris Bueller's Day Off is what I'm watching while I do this. So you're going to need 3 of these headbands from Dollar Tree, and what you want to do is remove all of these little bunnies. So I'm just going to grab some of my wire cutters here and snip the wires and pull them off. Luckily, when you pulled these off, these wires were actually glued to these bunnies. It really didn't make a difference. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that very quickly, and then I'll be ready to move on to the next step. Now that all of the bunnies are detached from the headbands, you're going to need 2 packs of these little bunny burlap Easter treat bags that they have. And I'm going to go in and just kind of rip these little white tags out because you can kind of see those through the burlap. And then once that's done, I'll start getting ready to attach my bunnies. I knew I'd be attaching mine to the Dollar Tree nautical rope, so before I attached the bunnies, I folded down the top to kind of allow a hem to go around the nautical rope. And then once I figured out where the bunny was going to go, I simply used some hot glue and attached it. And then for each one, I basically just kind of sat them next to each other so I could make sure I got the placement about the same for each little burlap pennant. Once my bunny is all attached, I'm just going to kind of trim up the bottom here to make sure they have nice little points. And then, like I said, I'll just set this one down, start working on the next one, and using the pink one as a guide, I'll know where to place the next bunny on this little burlap bag. Now my last step is to go ahead and start attaching these. So I simply, again, found the midpoint of the nautical rope. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. It makes it a lot easier attaching these. And I'm just going to take some hot glue and I'm simply just going to put some hot glue down and fold this over the rope. And then I'll just, like I said, kind of use the one that I did before as a guide to make sure I get them all even. And this is the last step. Once you do this, it is ready to hang up. And here you go, it is all finished. To finish it off, I simply just tied off the ends like I did for the raffia one and made little kind of knots at the end. And there you go, very simple little quick and easy Easter garland that you can make with all things from Dollar Tree. Stay tuned for some DIY shout outs from my followers and subscribers. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Until next time, see you later.